Okay, I thought I'd show you how far I got yesterday. I'm gonna have to use my little light here so you can see in here. It's a little dark this morning. So here we go. Now the blue tape is just holding the uprights in place because I have to get an okay from the supervisor and the homeowner on the spacing. So I have like one bad spot right here where an upright covers up one of the light switch boxes. So what we might need to do is move this light switch box to the other side of this one here so I can run this upright, and then all the spacing will be relatively the same. We got this here. And I got my outside corners. She's holding everything together. And this is the only other bad spot that I've got. But if you look at the distance between this one and the wall, you come all the way over to this other end of this wall, you see the distance between that one and the wall sort of matches. And then the distance between this one here and the wall and this one here and the wall, they match as well, which makes everything under here all the way to here match. Now I had to shrink these ones here up, I think maybe 5/8 of an inch or so, but you can't really tell the difference between the two. And then this one here, I had to expand a little bit wider. But otherwise, I would have had one going right through the center of this, and then we would have had a small space here and a small space here. And I think we'll be all right with the spacing here. It's either a little bit wider or a significantly enough smaller than the 16-inch. I think wider would be all right with this. We'll see. And yeah, the only reason why I'm having to tape these, I think this light's all shadowing out, bleaching it out. But anyways, that's because my tongue is holding it out. So I had to have, and instead of having to tear this 1x6 off in order to get those tongues in there, I just figured, because it's all temporary anyways until we talk about it. So I just figured I'd just tape them up so we can get the distance, the appearance of the distance of all these. But yeah, it was a busy day yesterday. And if I get the okay on the spacing on this, I will go ahead and take the top plate off, the top 1x6 off, put all my uprights in, cut all my panels, slide them in, and then put the tops back on, put the 1x6 back on, and then I can put the 1x2 that goes right on top here, you know, for a little ledger. And then this room will be done. And because the cabinet people are coming in tomorrow to put the kitchen cabinets in, and they're dropping the cabinets off today, so I need to get this done so everybody has room to work tomorrow. And then after I do that, after I do this room, then I will probably come out here to the foyer and start in here. He's almost on the okay of these stairs. Oh, I didn't tell you about these stairs, did I? Yeah. After I had to cut into this framing and everything, and because they wanted them all square, now they want them back to the way they were, pretty close. They still want the curve here now. So I had to reconstruct this to make it to where I can still have my rail up on the wall there, attached to the wall, and come down to this post. So I had to get an okay on this Hopefully I can get this okay, so I can put all the, you know, the wainscoting up in here and finish that door out. I gotta have to trim the door out and everything. So yeah, that will probably be a project for tomorrow. That and running the baseboard in here. I can get and run all the baseboard. Probably this morning I'll run this baseboard, so that if the cabinet people show up with the cabinets, maybe I can get them to put the cabinets in this room instead of into the big room here where I need to work. We'll see. But yep. There we go. How's that? Now I'm on the spotlight. But yeah, there's I've got that to do. I've got flint blocks I can cut this morning too for all the bottoms of the doors. That has to be done before I can do any of the baseboard. So I'll yeah, maybe I could do that next. Get started on that this morning until the supervisor, the on-site supervisor, gets here to okay all this. And that way I can set you up and show you how I make my flint blocks, because I have to make them. Okay, let me get set up here. Hey guys, all right. While I'm still waiting for the on-site supervisor to show up, I figured I'd go ahead and start these flint blocks, and I thought I'd bring you back in. What these flint blocks consist of is 5/4 inches thick, and they send it in 5/4 inches thick by 5.5 inches wide. So what it's got to be cut down to is 3 11/16 inches wide. Let me see if that's actually 3 11/16. Okay, I've got it at 3 3/4. Okay, and the reason why we cut it at 3 3/4 is because our 1x4 is 3.5 inches. So what we have to do, let me bring you the one that's already done. Here's one. This isn't a good example. I'm gonna have to fix that. Here's a better example. If you can see, we have a little bit of a reveal on either side of this 1x4. And that's the size we got to cut it. So there's a little reveal all the way around this 1x4. So how I do that is, I know these flint blocks are 10 inches long or close to it. So if I just cut this 16 foot, let's just say, with allowing the thickness of the blade for each cut, let's just go I go 102 inches. That way I know that I'll get at least 10 blocks out of this one cut. And then I'll leave, after I cut this half, I can get 10 blocks out of that one side, and I can get at least 8 out of this side. So that's 18 blocks I can get out of this one. There'll be a little bit of waste, but that's always, you know, always the case, because we have to allow for the thickness of the blade that we cut out each and every time. So, yep. Let me put this one back. And how I do that is I just cut that length, and then I run it through the table saw. Real simple. I set my table saw at 3 3/4. Right there, 3 3/4. Get in there. My table saw is accurate. I don't bang it around. And even if I go just a little past, like a 64th of an inch past the line, it wouldn't hurt. Bring the blade up. So it's past the 5/4. I have to set up my outrigger so it'll take the weight of the board. I gotta make it so it's just a little below the table. Top of the table, that is. Come on, there we go. Alright, see. Now I got this out far enough so that when I make my cut, it catches it out here so my board isn't tipping off the saw. And I put this on here as a counterweight so the board doesn't push it off. I'll put you on this one. Okay, now I cut them to length. What I have to do is I have to go to each and every one because we had to install these after the floor was in. So that makes each one different. So I have to measure each one. This one is 9 15/16. Both of them are 9 15/16. Let's see here. Pull it up. Nine 15/16. 9 15/16. Now in theory, it should fit. Let's take a look, see if it does. Yep, it fits. Okay. Now I have to do that to all the ones down here. I gotta continue. I gotta do them all in there, all there. I have the whole house of those I gotta make. So I'll get these together. I'll start making all these and lay them out where they need to be and nail them off, and I'll bring you in when they're all done. Okay, I just had a good talk with the on-site supervisor, and he went over all my spacing on these walls. Let me get a better light here. There we go. Better, but everything got okay for the go. So now I'm going to start cutting these panels to go in between here and everything, and start putting this together. And then we'll be finished with this wainscoting here soon, in this room anyways. And then I have to carry it all the way through the foyer and up the stairs. So, but let me get set up and I will show you what I'm doing. Well, here, I can show you real quick what I did. Seems well, let's see here. The lighting isn't all that good here. But anyways, what I did here is, since I rabbited out the back side of the top and bottom, that I have to allow for that. It's like 7/16 of a rabbit. So the bottom here is going to sit all the way down to the bottom on the baseboard, because the weight of it's going to push it all the way to the bottom. But I don't have to cut it all the way tight to the top, because I want to be able to make this joint tight when I put this piece back on here for these uprights. So if I cut it just shy of the 7/16, I'm only going to give it like a 1/4 inch behind here. So what I did was I made my measurement. I pulled my measurement from the top of this to the bottom of this. I added a 1/2 inch for what's going to go down in here, which is not 7/16, but I only went a 1/2 inch, and I added a 1/4 for this here, and it gave me 49 3/4. That's how long my panel is going to be for this whole section here, and that'll allow it to tuck up underneath there and tuck in behind there. Now these panels, from upright to upright, is going to be 16 inches. Now I'm going to have to go in behind there, so I'm only going to go in a 1/4 of an inch on either side. Well, if I go a 1/4 inch on either side, yeah, that'll still give me coverage. So if I cut my panels at 16.5, it will still go behind there. It won't pop out of this side, even if it shifts from one side to the other. So my panel here, this one panel is going to be 17 3/4 by 16.5. This one here is going to be 49 3/4 by whatever this width plus whatever I have to go behind here, which is a 1/4 inch. So whatever this width is plus a 1/4. This one will be here, will be 49 3/4 by 16.5. This one here, sees it jogs here and then it cuts over. what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take 16 and a half here, or 16, yeah, and a half, and then I'll have to come back and notch this section right here out. And then I can push it tight to here, and it should slide. I'll leave this panel, this one loose, and get this one in first, and then do this one, and then do this one. That way I can make it tight to here, because he okayed a caulkable joint against the windows and the doors, so I don't have to pull off all the trim and route them out. He said that should be fine. He said that there'll be a caulk joint there, that'll be fine. It should cover up just fine. These here will be 13 7/8, whatever the width is of the panel, plus a ½ inch. Same here. So it'll all be, I've already got all my measurements wrote down on all the panels. I've got all the lengths measured, so I can cut the lengths, and then I can cut my widths. Most of the widths, all the widths are going to be the same, except for the shorter ones, the shallower ones in the corners. Those will be different, but I can cut those at a different time. They'll cut those last. And then I should be able to start putting this together. When I start to go cutting this paneling and everything, I'll set you up on a tripod and let you watch me on a table saw cut these panels out. All right? Get you there. I'll see you then. I didn't get as far as I thought I was going to, but I made a little bit of progress. You can see. Made it up to there. I'll finish this off in the morning. And then it's still going to get a leisure board. I got to put a 1x leisure board on it, just like that. So, yep. I'll finish this out in the morning and then work my way around. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll have this and probably part of that. Hopefully I'd like to have all of it done, but I don't know, as far as with having to be so precise on this and having to putty all my cracks, my seams, and glue and nail, and it's a lot of work, so I can only get as far as I get. If I can get that done tomorrow morning, and that way the cabinets can come in here and they can stack them over there, they'll be out of my way, and that way I can finish this out tomorrow, and then I can work my way up the stairs, in the foyer and up the stairs. But that's it for today. I guess I'm going to try and get this whole room into one video. So we'll see. We'll see how long the video is when I'm editing. So have a good day.